I can't hear you, Stephanie.
Ah!
8.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
We sure
Yes.
can.
All right, we are Dances with Kobolds, and tonight we are playing the Call of the Deep. But before I let Patrick
From the deep.
From the deep. Before I let Patrick take it away, excuse me, in the doobly-doo down below, you will see a link to our Extra Life page, as well as our sister shows and the Discord for the Heroes Wanted collective of shows. But without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's game. I will be running everything as the GM, putting these players in odd situations and seeing what they do with it. Joining me tonight are...
Hello, everyone. My name is Lorne, and I will be playing Nithdoris, the Githyanki War Wizard tonight.
I am Brendan, and I will be playing Old Silver, the Sea Paladin. Not Sea Paladin, Sea Captain.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'll be playing Pavo, the Aarakocra Clamor Bard.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tara. I shall be playing Ishka, the Water Genasi Druid of the Coast, who is currently Ishka Shark. She's in her shark form.
Hello, Nabil here. I'll be playing as Scrap Heap version 2.0, thanks to our Dungeon Master on updating me on the latest Warforged stats. I'll be playing as a paladin taking on the Oath of Vengeance.
Hi, everyone. My name's Chris. I'm going to be playing Montauk, Lord of the Summit, Goliath Battlemaster Fighter, who is cold and wet and injured and just wants to sit in front of a fire with a big tankard of mead, and unfortunately also hasn't had any retcons done to him.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm playing Brew Belle Devereaux, the second Princess of Morace and Polaric of Umberlee.
Technically, Chris, as a Goliath, you now have cold resistance. That has just been the change that was put in with Rime of the Frost Maiden.
So there are... Ooh...
Yes, they snuck. Yeah, Lauren and I were mentioning. Yeah, they snuck a player bit in the creature section.
Retcons are here.
Now you're just wet.
Now I'm just wet and injured.
So last session, the only thing that really mattered that happened was that Rubel discovered her catchphrase, which is "Don't die, moron."
Yes.
Yes.
Exploring the wreck of the Golden Crown, where the Sahuagin have had their base of operations. You guys finished off the last of the sentries and then explored in and around the ship. You've still not seen their leader as you began exploring. You rescued 4 captives that were being kept inside of an air bubble created by rocks with runes carved into them. One of these was the mother of the young boy you rescued out at sea, Byrne. And as you kept moving through the ship, you found a desecrated altar, which used to be a shrine to Sekolah. And in its place now, you found a silvered shield with an eye on the front of it, which had blinked at you as you looked at it. And as you approached, you heard these awful, beautiful chimes, and then had thoughts put into your head. Pavo decided to take it and is carrying it with him now after much group discussion. You also, one section up on the ship, located the treasury, where Rue used her newfound trident to control the swarm of quippers that were guarding it and sent them away on a swim. And you found a few magic items and a whole heap of coins that need to be cleaned before they can be used. You also intruded upon an electric eel and an octopus. The octopus Ishka Shark killed as it was attempting to flee in its ink cloud, but the shark, of course, didn't need to actually see it. It could tell as it was fleeing. Montauk had spent most of last session opening all the doors, and due to this, he's taken a little bit of damage. And so as you move towards the leader's quarters, you guys find yourselves in clearly what is the sleeping quarters of most of the Sahuagin here. There are woven reed mats on the floor. There's one more of these coral chests that you found more personal items in rather than treasure. And Scrap Heap, moving forward, put his listening cavity to this door, only to find now that they have been stuck to it. And the rest of you have watched as this door transforms in front of you, tentacles unfolding sort of from the decaying timber, and a huge fanged maw opened around Scrap Heap's head. And that is where we pick up, with everybody rolling initiative, please.
Oh, I thought I was going to do some kind of a saving throw.
Oh no, it gets a surprise attack in this round.
Boo.
Save against Mimic.
Yeah, because with its false appearance,
Wow, really? Bottom of the barrel here.
Oh,
you
come
are
on.
literally stuck to a door.
I know, and the initiatives show that. That's a great coincidence.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled an 8.
I got a rock.
I'm sitting
All
pretty
right.
at a 10.
Yeah, so all of you are surprised as this mouth appears around Scrap Heap's head, and it is going to attempt to bite down on him with advantage. As you are currently stuck and grappled to this door, Scrap Heap.
Dang.
That, however, is only an 18 to hit. So its teeth scrape against your metallic head, but do no damage.
Woo! Just 1 point away.
That takes us to Old Silver. You
Um,
guys all sort of wince as there's this horrible screeching sound as these teeth scrape against the metallic head.
Doesn't one break off?
Not quite.
knock one out, and I will aim and fire. That much damage.
That is 19 piercing damage as, yeah, you strike the door, and instead of wood splintering or anything like that, there is just this bit of sort of greenish black ichor that floats away around it, and you can see parts of it recoil slightly as it is struck. All right. Any movement, any bonus action?
I move back a little bit.
All right, you'd be moving back into the kitchen area, so there's still a little bit of ink lingering there, but you're fine. This mimic, one of its teeth sort of loose, is now going to attempt to bite down on you again. That is a 22 to hit for six piercing damage and 4 acid damage.
Damn.
That takes us to Rubel.
You skipped me.
After he set up the initiatives. After he.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Let me reshuffle. Sorry, that takes us to Pavo.
All right. So the mimic's there. I've only got one first level spell slot left, so we're going to keep that right now.
Well, the mimic is the door right in front of Scrap Heap.
I am going to. 1 second. Vicious Mockery is a action.
Cantrip. Yeah, it's an action. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going. Oh, I'm out of Bardic Inspiration, so I can't do that. All right, Vicious Mockery it is. When is a door not a door? When it's a mimic.
That is a 10 for 4 damage. And yeah, you see the door wince.
Does that make that attack not hit Scrap Heap?
No, because it rolled a 17 and a 16, so it still would be a 21.
Damn.
Good attempt.
Very good attempt. Any movement, Pavo?
I think I'm pretty safe, but I am going to keep an eye out behind us and make sure nothing comes through that hole or further back in the ship.
All right. Now the Mats attack now. That takes us to Rubel.
That would be so mean.
All right. All right. Scrap Heap's fine for the time being, so I gotta conserve my spell slots. Everyone keeps on getting hurt. I roll. So just a secret. You know what? It's a you know what? I'm gonna stay back. Sacred Flame.
All right. Yeah, that's a 3.
1 radiant damage. Feel the wrath of
takes it.
Umberly.
Yeah, there's just a little spark of radiant energy just next to your head, Scrap Heap.
Scrap Heap, you're gonna be fine.
That takes us to Nithdoris.
All right. I realized technically I moved from where I was because I was hovering with Jack in the same spot. Doesn't really matter. I may be smart, not touch the thing, and instead launch a chill touch because it's ranged. I think that's a miss.
That is a miss. You strike part of the wood next to it that could be the mimic, but it clearly isn't.
All right. I'm gonna move back. Yeah.
All right. Montauk.
Yeah, Montauk does not want to touch this thing. It looks sticky, and he's also like looking at the ground under his feet. It's like, you know, he was expecting mimics, but he wasn't expecting this. So, quick, have a javelin.
13 hits, 10 piercing damage.
Excellent.
This mimic is starting to look a little sort of lessened, and yeah, the area around Scrap Heap is definitely starting to fill with this ichor.
Okay, that's it for me.
Ishka.
Ishka shark, doo doo dee doo dee doo. Come right on up in there because I'm not wasting my last shift of the day until we rest again. Pack tactics, advantage, bite. 22 for 9 piercing.
9 piercing, and you are stuck to this door as well.
Yeah, don't care.
Yeah, so this mouth opens over Scrap Heap, and then Ishka Shark bites over that mouth as well.
Always a bigger door.
So currently Scrap Heap is a turducken. What would you like to do? You are currently grappled by this door, and it is slowly squeezing your head.
I think I remember someone giving me a bardic inspiration, so I'm gonna try and use that.
Someone
That would be him, to get out of this. I'm gonna get out of this. Try and get out of this.
All right.
What
You
do I
have
roll?
So you are being grappled, so it is your choice between athletics or acrobatics. You do have disadvantage on this check, but you have bardic inspiration.
So it's a straight roll. All right, I'm going straight.
Nope,
for...
it's not a straight roll. Because bardic inspiration gives you, you have disadvantage, but plus your D6.
6 at this level, I believe.
Oh yeah, it doesn't give me advantage. Okay, I remember now. Okay, going athletics. Damn. Oh, hold on. D6
plus your D6.
Damn it, 9.
Yeah, you push against the door and you realize, or against the wall, and you realize one of your hands is actually still stuck to the door, and yeah, you are unable to get away. Any bonus action?
No. unfortunately, I used it all up.
All right, that takes us to Old Silver.
I wonder what I'm going to do. I fire a crossbow at the door.
All right.
All right.
If you hit, you'll kill it.
A 9.
That is a natural 1. Unfortunately, yeah, your crossbow strikes, but again, it strikes part of the door, not where the mimic currently is.
That'll be it for me.
Takes us to Pavo.
All right, so I guess we'll try and finish it off with a vicious mockery, and I will say, don't worry, you'll be open for new things. Because he's a door.
It
Boo.
rolls a 15, no damage.
Boo!
Haha.
I want my
Even
joke
Pavo's
back.
booing himself. With that, the mimic, all right. Evens, it's going to go after Scrap Heap. Odds, it's going to go after the shark. Goes after Ishka Shark. That is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
5 piercing damage and 7 acid damage.
Cool.
As a mouth appears over your mouth, so it's now a mouth over a mouth over a mouth.
Bites down on my nose.
This would make a great album cover.
It's a mimic mouth.
Takes us to Rubel.
All right, I am again just going to Sacred Flame.
That is a 17.
Nope.
And what is with your damage?
Ugh, she's just not feeling it today. Surrounded by morons. That's the end of my turn.
Doris. Yeah, Rubel just kind of waves her hand in the general direction, like, eh.
Well, let's see. Yeah. I am going to try and tear its mind apart. I said tear its mind apart. Where the hell is it? There? Oh. Okay, that was slow.
We are
Wow,
nice.
a 1
Could
and a
it-
2.
Wow.
Could it possibly make this save with a -3 int modifier?
You might.
Natural 1. So no, it takes 2 damage. It is still alive. Montauk.
Screw it. Ah,
11 misses.
damn it. Ishka,
Try
do
not-
something. You're grappled. You can still hit it.
Yeah, you are grappled, Ishka. You can still bite it. There you go. With that, yeah, Ishka Shark rips it off the wall and, peels a layer of paint off of Scrap Heap and then just sort of shakes it and ravages it, and it falls to the floor of this ship deck just and does not move. With that, you guys have in front of you an old, broken, sort of cracked wooden door. Scrap Heap, you can just barely start to see through it.
Okay, what do I see?
Give me a perception check.
Hey,
Oh,
you're gonna
damn.
As it is dark, silted water, and yeah, you don't really have good dark vision, so yeah, so give me a perception check.
As appropriate.
Yeah, you're looking straight forward. You're looking directly at what appears to be the ship's mast or one of the smaller masts of the ship. So it's blocking your view. You don't get a good view into the room.
Ishka is going to nudge Scrap Heap aside if he relays that he can't see anything. And she'll have a peek in the room with her blind sense. I don't know if that's going to help.
Yeah, I move over and let Ishka Shark take a peek.
All right, with your blind sense, you pick up Not a lot of movement, but about 15 feet in. Let's see. So say 1 square over to the right towards the back of the ship, you sense something barely moving, just sort of idly going side to side, but just a slight bit of movement.
Okay. Ishka will flap her fins and, ones for one enemy. Hopefully people will get that.
Ishka is doing an interpretive dance.
I'm also assuming that people are going to start asking her questions and she can, like...
No. How far? How many? Like, how big is it?
Larger than a breadbasket.
Someone sunk down a well.
Come on, Lassie. What do you see?
Ishka's going to smack Scrappy with her tail.
Can I
Yeah,
understand her? No, I can't.
We can understand. Literally, we can understand her.
We can't understand her.
Yes,
You're
we
friends
can
in the sea.
just talk.
Yes!
We're sea elves.
We understand her.
See? Yeah, so
Ishka,
I'm
what
able
is
to
it?
so I'm able to communicate that, I don't know what the heck it is, but there is something moving back there, basically.
Ishka tells us there's something moving back there. Get ready.
Whose
Don't
accent
die.
is worse?
And I'll also try and relay as to the best, best as I can, because I'm not sure how the communication is 100%, but I will relay as best as I can the location of whatever that thing is that's moving.
All right. You guys definitely get the general gist of what she is wanting you to know, is that there's one character in there barely sort of moving back and to the right at the end of the boat.
So as soon as we get what Ishka Shark is trying to say, I activate my divine sense just to make sure it's nothing from what I know.
All right, you activate your divine sense, and again, you don't get a sense of any undeads, but a sense of desecration just explodes off of this ship, sort of all around you.
Am I able to tell that it's coming from in the general direction that Ishka Shark was pointing towards?
You get definitely a sense, in this room, but I mean, the larger one is still coming from the shrine that you guys found previously, but you definitely get the same sense in this room.
Patrick, you got cut.
Oh, sorry. You do get the same sense from this room, but you get the larger ping from your check comes from the shrine that you guys found earlier.
Okay, I relay this to everyone.
Obviously, it is not dedicated to Umberlee, so of course it's screaming desecration. And how dare they?
Let's force our way in and deal with whatever's moving, and then we can argue some more.
Okay.
Wait, what? 1 second. Blinky, what's behind the door? I say to the shield.
Oh, God.
You get no response from the shield.
Well, pout.
All right, Montauk's going to ready a javelin. He's going to ready action to fire a javelin.
All right.
Whatever's back there.
Scrap Heap readies an action, Moonlit Sword, and Shield. Hit anything that comes through.
All right. Who's going to actually open the door?
I made that mistake once.
Rubel.
Of course, unless Rubel is afraid Umberlee is not gonna help her.
Okay, wait, you shut your whore mouth! Umberlee will help me, and Umberlee will guide me. Alright, so do I just need to go in there?
Well, no, someone just needs to literally open the door.
Alright, I will do a perception check of the door to make sure it's not trapped.
Sure.
And I will also like to put my ear to it to feel what's moving back there.
Wait.
Stacked
Put your-
mimics.
We should shoot a crossbow bolt at it.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be any lock or trap or anything on this door. It appears to just be mostly, sort of broken and rotted away. Clearly, the mimic sitting over it made it look like it was a proper door. You don't get a sense of any movement or anything behind it as you kind of peer through. The water is just sort of too dark and silty.
All right, everyone. I go like 1, 2, 3, but mouthing 1, 2, 3. And I very quietly open the door. Do I see
All right,
anything?
give me a stealth check.
All right. Umberly is my guide. Can I say I start praying and that's like a guidance?
Sure. You very quietly open this door, pushing against the resistance of the water. And inside, you see, as you step through, you emerge into a cabin at the rear of this ship here now that you see has been adorned with the skulls of various beasts and humanoids. But in the center of the chamber, you see a chunk of decaying wood, clearly what was one of the masts. In this room itself has been seemingly carved away into an odd sort of figure shape, and you can't quite see it from the side you guys are on. But as you peer through, you also see sitting in the back of this room is an emaciated Sahuagin. You can see sort of their fingernails are kind of cracked and their fingers sort of broken, and their teeth are almost sort of dulled and chipped as its mouth is sort of open in what appears to be either a mix of sort of agony and ecstasy, but it is just sitting sort of on the floor, staring, rapt at whatever this mast has been carved into.
Umberly is my shepherd. She taketh me to warm waters. I will let everyone know.
All right, because Montauk is still aiming his javelin because he can't actually see anything right now.
Aim it at not at this hooligan. Aim it at the carving and see what happens.
Yeah, no, the water is so dark and silty. You guys can't really even see into the room. You can just barely make this out from the door, Rubel.
All right. I guess I want to burn that
Ishka?
idol because it's not Umberly, right?
You can't tell from this side, but you can tell the mast has been sort of carved into something else. You can see shapes on it, but you can't tell what it is from this side.
Ishka will communicate to Rubel and Ol Silver. She will offer to go in first and see if she can try to, because Sahuagin can talk to Shark, right? She'll see what she can see about the post and try and communicate with the Sahuagin and see what's going on.
Also,
right.
Don't look at the thingamajig.
Okay. Any objections to this course of action?
Fuck.
All right.
What is the
Ishka
shark
will
saying?
slowly swim in.
Do.
All Montauk hears is do.
Yeah, so does the Sahuagin see me, or is it still staring at the pillar?
Still staring at the pillar, pays you no mind whatsoever.
I will swim between it and the pillar, but I will not be looking at the pillar yet.
All right, you move and swim towards him, and as you get even really close, you can see its teeth are just cracked and broken, and it almost looks like there might be scraps of wood in its face.
Oh.
And you come to the understanding that whatever was carved into this wood was probably done by either its broken nails or by chewing.
Okay, I will try and start communicating with him and ask him, Who are you? What are you doing here? WTF? Why do you have wood in your face?
All right, there is a telepathic ability between Sahugan and Sharks, and
Yes.
as
Okay,
it sort of
that's what it was.
clicks on, you get this vision of simultaneous images of like a humanoid octopus, a tentacled beast of the depths, and like this monstrous brain. And as this happens, I need all of you to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Damn it.
Kimberly is my guide.
Bugger.
Really?
Who guards the crow's nest?
It was nice knowing you.
Montauk,
16.
exactly what we're dealing with.
You see, as this happens, you actually see the shark turn as well and just slowly rotate. And again, it is now staring at this figure. And then Scrap Heap steps into the room and just stares at this figure. And then old Silver does. And then
Blasphemy.
Pavo moves in as well. And all of you are just enraptured by this carving. And again, all of you see these indescribable sort of, what at first glance seems like this sort of alien horror becomes this beautiful image that you just are unable to look away from. And, Pavo, in your head, you hear the shield just gently say to you, "This is everything you will ever want."
Question.
And Rubel, Nithdoris, and Montauk, you feel this sort of blast of psychic energy wash over you and then recede. But you see the rest of your group has moved in and is just staring at this carved mast pillar.
All right. Montauk is going
Okay, so
Okay.
this pillar here is how much of it is carved? I wasn't here for the description because
the entire thing is carved into a
yes,
into
but
a
how
grizzly.
are we talking about?
It's a mast of the ship, so it circles almost 5 feet around. It's just the center area of it in this room has been carved out into shapes of various forms that are now encircling it and being stared at by sort of the rest of your party as this wave of energy, kind of psychic energy, blasts over you guys.
Okay. Montauk is going to reach into his basically into his pouch. He's going to pull out just sort of a random scrap of cloth. He's going to tie it around his eyes. And then he's going to draw his maul and pick his way into the room.
All right. And so Rubel, you can see as Montauk moves in, this is a 10-foot tall room, so the mast is going from the floor to the ceiling, and about a 6-foot section in the center of it has been carved out into these various figures. And so, yes, you see Montauk with, a cover over his eyes, he puts his hands on the door and sort of pushes his way through, and, using his maul, can sort of tap until he feels the base of the mast in front of him.
Yep. So I'm going to sort of reach forward, tap, tap, tap onto the side of the pillar, and then I'm going to smash it.
All right. Yeah. You underwater, you swing your maul and it strikes, and you can see, a small couple of pieces of this kind of crack and fall off. But Rubel, you don't see, it didn't do a whole bunch of damage to it. This is still a fairly solid, piece of wood at the center of it. But yeah.
Can I spam Sacred Flame?
Sacred Flame radiant damage won't do a whole lot of damage to this type of structure.
Also, underwater.
I will pick up one of these sleeping mats take it with me, and then wrap it around the damn mast.
All right, yeah, you wrap it around, and I mean, this is wood, but as you're looking at it and doing this, Nithdoris, I mean, it almost looks like oiled metal of some sort. I mean, whatever was done to this wood to make it sort of treated this way, it just radiates something awful. You don't have to make another save from it, but yeah, you can just feel uncomfortable around it as you do this. And you wrap the mat sort of around, and your party members are all still, almost sort of incapacitated, but you are no longer having to view the image that is on this mast.
All right, Montauk, be careful when you smash. Might as well just leave your thing on.
Montauk,
There's
always careful.
a flask of acid hanging from Pavo's belt.
Entirely possible. Montauk's gonna keep trying with his maul because he's in the middle of smashing something, and well, god damn it, this is a thing he does.
Yep, that is. You strike again, and yeah, there's another sort of crack, and you start to see some small sort of fissures, in this mast now. Rubel and Nithdoris, as Montauk is just sort of literally blindly cracking into it, and it's starting to show a little bit of damage being done.
All right, can I take the acid from Pavo's belt and pour it on top?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you take
God,
this, you
the
pour
more
it down, and the wood, starts to sort of be eaten away and falls. And as this happens, you hear this massive shriek come out of the sort of emaciated form of the Sahuagin Baron, and everyone else can give me a wisdom saving throw, please, with advantage.
So is that everyone or just
Just those that are affected?
Oh, okay.
No. You guys are good.
Yay, I love that kind of thing where you just have to save once.
Fucking hell!
As
Yeah, it's managed to get in.
hey,
The idol has a console on Scrap Heap right now.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, there's this, sort of shriek and sort of telepathic noise that breaks Old Silver and Ishka out of their sort of reverie, but Pavo and Scrap Heap remain just not quite stunned, but they don't move in any particular way. They are just still wrapped and enraptured, staring at this mast and pillar.
Gotta destroy it some more. It's not like we can start fire underwater. That would be kind of stupid.
Nope, but we can't smash with a hammer. 10 to hit?
I did have 2 of those acid flasks, so.
Oh, I will grab the other one and pour it on as well.
Okay, we have that one too.
All right. As that happens, Pavo and Scrap Heap, you guys both take 5 psychic damage.
Ow.
And the Sahuagin Baron, you can see, finally just sort of succumbs, and there is blood and other sort of ichor fluid flowing out of his ears and his mouth as he can no longer take any of this. But that between the acid and Montauk cracking into it with his maul, finally this weakens it enough that you smash through it, and this wood splinters and sort of breaks and continues to float in and around the room around you, and the floor above just drops and creaks a little bit as its support structure is taken away.
Montauk will just immediately rip off the blindfold and start shuffling people out of the room.
Hit the head! The head!
Yep. Montauk will grab the whole body and just like swim the whole thing out.
Can we move again, or are we?
Yeah, you guys are released.
I will help Montauk and like to have a swim
Out
speed.
now.
This will be Umberlee's home now, as it always should be, as it always was.
Less Umberlee, more. Get the hell out of here. Get
Oh,
the
good.
9 help.
I'll just quickly
Right.
do a little Humberlee symbol.
Sorry, Humberlee.
She is
Umberlee.
She isn't Humber.
I am
All
near the Humber Valley.
Yeah.
Umberlee Sigil.
The people. We have to go get the people.
This
Yeah,
belongs
but
to
Oh, yes.
Umberlee.
Alright.
Out and down.
Out
Yeah.
and up.
There, the people are below you. There is also the locked room up on the main deck.
We'll get the locker
that
room
you
out
guys.
there.
All right. I mean, nothing is fully collapsing. It's just you broke part of the mast, so the floor is just kind of sagging above.
Yeah, we're in a ship underwater. Like, it can't get worse than how it already is.
Don't
Yeah,
say that.
I mean,
It can always get worse.
most of this wood is rotted and pretty badly damaged anyway. So
Montauk disagrees. But okay. So we do have the one area, the storage area. Oh, by the way, yeah. As soon as we get the Baron out onto onto the seafloor here, Montauk is going to just quickly rifle through his things, assuming he has anything on him.
he doesn't. You can see that. I mean, he's dressed, but you can see that even what he's wearing has just been soiled. It doesn't look like he has moved in quite some time. His body is thin and emaciated, and clearly they were just enraptured by this. The only thing you find on him is a ring of keys attached to his belt. Clearly ones that would open some of the doors you guys have already seen him broken into, and one that looks like the sort of shark's jaw that would open the chests in the treasury that you guys already opened using Ishka Shark.
Okay. Montauk will pass the ring of keys to, let's say Pavo, because he's right beside him. And then Montauk will draw his greatsword and decapitate this guy's body.
All right. You do that. You cut off the head, and as that happens, rising out of the sort of muck and the sand, Pavo, you hear the shield that you are carrying sort of reach out into your heads, and all the rest of you hear the voice as well, and it just says, "Oh, you shouldn't have killed our favorite acolyte.
Piss off.
We called for help, and it is here."
Looking
Lose
around.
the shield.
And
What the
so
fuck?
climbing out of the
Oh,
muck
shit.
and dirt, you see this creature with a couple of large claws. It's got these long, almost sort of tentacles hanging around its mouth. You see it's sort of greenish and blue, and it has a weird sort of slime coating it and making it sort of even gleam and glisten here under the water. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, I hate these things. Ian used to
I
throw
don't
them at
know.
us.
At this fight,
What?
I don't mind going last.
Oh, hang on. Let me clear out the initiative tracker. Sorry about that.
Mine didn't change.
Oh, just roll it and
Yeah, roll
Fix
it and then fix it. I don't even need to. Third 19 for initiative tonight.
Ooh. Can we keep these ones?
This is one of those 3rd edition creatures that I just brought back.
Is it not?
Oh,
a-
God.
Game.
Tell me you've modified the stats.
This
Oh
This
yeah, this is
isn't
called
Chul?
It is, but it's called a Uchulon.
So it's related in some way.
It
Why
is
doesn't-
It's a Chul that has been impregnated by
Oh joy!
mind flayers.
With the hell, baby. Grand. Why isn't
Everything-
my initiative showing up on the sheet?
Have you clicked your
Did you
name?
click your token? Oh, you did it after he had to remove all the old ones.
Yeah.
So you
Oh.
need to re-roll and manually change it.
Roll again. Yeah, still go before it.
I rolled an 18 the first time. I'm going to edit it.
Mind Flayer, Troll, do.
All right, first up to act is Nithdoris.
Right. I can barely see this thing. I'm gonna take. Someone has light cast upon them, right?
Scrapheap's Scrapheap's sword.
We're out of like the actual silty part, right? Because we're outside.
Yes. So yes, let me change the lighting. I'm just gonna open the whole thing up. Doesn't matter at this point.
Now we see the terrible secret.
That's terrifying.
All right, Nithdoris, you are first to act.
All right. I'm just trying to figure out which is the best option here.
Patrick, we can see its health bar, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, I don't care. That's not the right one.
Okay.
That's if it was a normal Chul.
All right. So Jacques will swim forward, not do anything else. Actually, he'll dodge because he can. And I'm going to use my last spell slot to cast Ice Knife.
All right, roll your attack.
I did. 24
Oh,
to hit.
24 absolutely hits.
I would hope so.
And
He takes extra damage.
he absolutely does. So you
Good.
grab some water just from around you and hurl it, and it easily pierces through this sort of slime area, and you see some of it sort of spurt off, and then there's that explosive blast of cold. So it takes the full 16 damage. Very nice.
Yeah. Interesting opponent for Ice Knife. I have an ocean's worth. Beyond that, no, I have nothing else. I'm well enough in the back. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Old Silver.
I'm going to swim up 30 feet. So, like, out a little bit and then up 30 feet.
All right.
I'm going to fire at it with a crossbow. 21 for 10 piercing.
21 hits for 10 piercing damage. And again, yeah, the crossbow bolt strikes it, and you can see this little sort of burst of whatever this slimy coating is on it. Sprays off a little bit as it strikes.
Okay.
All right, Rubel.
Umberlee is my shepherd. And I am going to... You know what? I am going to... It's going to be a hard fight. Shit. Ugh. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, I'm going to save my my spells and cast Sacred Flame on the dude in front.
That is a 5.
Feel the wrath of Umberlee.
Let's see if you can do more than 1 damage. Hey, 6. That's
Hey.
pretty good.
Umberlee has blessed me. Ha ha ha!
Yeah.
He's dead.
You put your heart. Oh no, he was already dead. Montauk cut his head off.
Oh, well.
And Montauk
Yes,
cut
this
his head
is
off
this is
after
against
he
the
was
tool. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was already dead. So Montauk just decapitated him. All right.
Alright.
So putting your heart back into it, there's this blast of radiant energy that fires down on this slime creature, and again the slime sprays off it. Any movement?
I will go. Here, just out of its range of vision.
All right. Pavo.
Oh,
Now with a swim speed.
Oh,
Yes.
and I will heal Montauk with a healing bolt.
Oh, thank God. Do this fight on 6 hit points.
I've got 1 in case you drop, but
4.
that's
Stay alive.
All right.
Montauk notices that Sea Elf Woman did not call him moron.
Yes, you did a good job today. You beat up a false god. Good job.
I'm pretty sure it was a pillar. The false god's in my backpack. Speaking of that, I am going to we'll do a vicious mockery on Spermy McCrabface,
Gets a 19 on its wisdom save.
motherfucker. And I am going to shout back at the Blinky the Shield, call off your goon or we're gonna toss you in the deepest volcano we can find. And I'm gonna move back inside.
Roll me an intimidation check.
All right. Oh, God damn it.
You only hear just a light chuckle and just says, "You could not get rid of me."
Oh, so you like the crabs?
Yes, we can. We can just leave it down here.
Montauk.
All right. Montauk is going to
Eric.
go to there and then to there, staying well within 10 feet of its reach. Put away his greatsword, draw his trident. Let's see here. Add this in case it does hit. Stab at it. And if that hits,
That does hit. You skewer through, and I mean, what looks like should be a really hard carapace feels almost mushy as your trident pierces through it.
excellent. It must now make a strength saving throw of 14 or be knocked prone.
It is knocked prone. That is a 10. So yeah, you stab into it and then are able to sort of turn it, and it falls prone against this silty bottom of the sea that it is on.
Excellent. That was my last superiority die. And then I am not an idiot. I'm going to back away.
All right, it will get an attack of opportunity.
It will?
Yes, its pincers snap out at you.
Oh, well, I'd be able to see that this thing has long pincers.
Yes.
Okay, well, then I don't do that then.
All right. Scrappy, this creature is prone on the ground in front of you.
I will.
And pretty badly hurt at this point, to be honest.
Hmm.
Lousy 3 initiative.
That's the problem with single enemy boss fights.
Okay, so I'll take up on that and just head right straight to it and wish I had an extra attack at this point. Okay, just going for a longsword strike. Oh my god, I'm
Do
done.
it again. Do it again.
You do have advantage because it is prone.
Yeah, that's gonna help.
Yeah, 12 does not hit, unfortunately. You move forward, you swing, and as it is struggling to get to its feet, your blade swings through the water without making contact.
That's it for me.
Ishka Shark.
Ishka Shark, 5, 10, 15, 20. And bite. Oof.
Does not hit.
Yeah, I will, because he's prone, attacking with disadvantage for the attack of opportunity. I will swim away. This way.
Reaches out with its pincers. That is a 9 to hit, unfortunately.
It misses. My AC is 11.
I know. That's why I said unfortunately. But this creature rights itself, looks at Scrap Heap, who is currently in front of it, and goes to grab you with its pincers. That is a 13, which does not hit. And then the other one comes swinging around to try and grab you. And it does better, but that's a 14 and misses. That takes us... It is going to swim up about 10 feet. You will get an attack of opportunity, Scrap Heap.
Woo! Finally something. Please, 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 please. Oh my god.
Swing, but you miss. All right, that takes us to Nithdoris. This creature is now slowly starting to sort of swim up off the ground, where it is not prone. It is hurt.
Nithdoris. Was that Lord we heard dropping out of the call?
No, he's
Might
in
have-
the call.
He's leaving a message? No, wait, that was someone else.
Lord.
Lauren,
Uh,
Lorne.
Steph, can you turn around and tell me what Lauren's doing?
Lorne
Oh wait, no,
is
he's
not...
up. He's up on Aurelia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's up in Aurelia.
All right, well, we'll skip to Old Silver.
I'm gonna move another. It's 10 feet up. I'm gonna move another 30 feet up,
All right.
and I'm gonna fire at it. We're gonna use my last fighting spirit, and attack it with advantage.
What's the range on your light crossbow?
80 underwater.
Oh, yeah, you're fine still.
Say 25 to hit for 8 piercing.
That hits for 8 piercing damage. And so, Scrap Heap, you can see, again, as it strikes, there's this splash of whatever this slime is on it that just misses you as it had swum upwards.
Ooh.
Takes us to Rubel.
Crap, I'm running low on spell slots, and I need to keep these brave crusaders against the darkness of evil alive. So I will... Another Sacred Flame. I'm basically just doing that in heals right now.
It fails. Roll your damage. That is 3 more radiant damage as another white sort of burn and scar marks appears across it. And again, even with this radiant damage, you see this splash of whatever mucus comes off Scrap Heap.
And it is not, ooh, excuse me. It is not considered an undead, right?
Correct.
Alright, and I will give Montauk a healing word at level 2. Because I'm running out of spell slots. You get 8. We'll shuffle back. Technically, okay, I technically am around the corner just to give people watching a full view, but technically I'm like ducking behind here. There
Yeah,
we
you're
go.
behind the wall.
I'm behind
Yep.
the wall, yeah.
All right. That takes us to Pavo.
Got an extra 8, Montauk.
I have 8. Ooh.
Extra 8. Umberly has blessed you. Go and destroy that thing, that unholy creature.
And vicious mockery it, and I'm gonna hang back here.
All right, yeah, you vicious mockery it. You get the sense that it definitely took some damage as it sort of shakes its head at whatever you said to it. And Scrappy, you can see from that there was no explosion of slime off of it.
Huh.
Takes us to Montauk.
Okay. FYI, Nithdoris has just disconnected. So
Yep.
whatever horrible ISP issues he's having, rip. Okay. So it swam up 10 feet. Montauk will also swim up 10 feet and attempts a stab.
16 hits for 9 piercing damage.
I am.
This thing is
out of-
on death's door.
I am out of anything. So, Scrap Heap, please.
Yeah, Scrap Heap, you're up. So it is about 10 feet above you. You've just seen Montauk skewer it on his trident again, and there was another spray of whatever this mucus is.
All right, I move in that direction where it is, and as soon as I get close to it, I oh, thank goodness.
That is a hit for 6 slashing damage.
Is it still standing? If it's still alive, I mean.
It is just barely still alive.
And so I will be casting Divine Smite now. So that's 2d8. I think I should have casted that before, but
No, I mean, you call a smite on a hit, so you can do it whenever.
so 5 radiant.
Yeah, with that, you slash through, and there's this radiant explosion, which sort of blinds everybody. This slime splashes off. You take 8 poison damage, Scrap Heap, as this creature dies in front of you. But yeah, with your mighty swing and blow, as it collapses to the ground, there is this spray of mucus that coats you.
Welcome back, Lauren.
That felt good.
Yeah.
Oh, and welcome back, Lauren.
Welcome back.
Yeah, and so with that, as this, slime-ridden pincer creature crashes into the ground, there's sort of, a burst of sand that, comes up off of the ground, and you just hear a chuckle come from the shield in your backpack, Pavo.
Is that the best you got?
And he just says, "You will make fine champions."
All right, that's it. Montauk's running over. Well, running over. He's
Only
screaming over.
only Pavo can hear that.
Oh, okay. Then Montauk's just gonna stare down at this thing and be like, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, Scrap, he was just wailing into the corpse. I'm just letting out all my frustrations. This is good catharsis.
I think Blinky. I think Blinky brought it.
Who's Blinky?
Okay, at that point, then Montauk's gonna swim over. He's just gonna grab the shield from Pavo and just smash it against something.
We already tried that. You can't break it, remember?
It's gonna poke it in the eye again.
Montauk, as you do that, it just says, "Do you want to see real power, my friend?"
Montauk pokes it in the eye.
Good, Montauk. Good.
I need Montauk, Ol Silver.
Shit.
If I'm holding it in my hands, does that mean I'm
Ishka
behind?
Shark. Yes. Nithdoris and Scrap Heap to all give me intelligence saving throws, please.
Oh no, this is where I'm
Damn
going to die.
Can I
Well, Miss
guidance
Doris?
Montauk?
Saving throws are never good.
Wow.
Your own intelligence level.
-3.
Jesus.
Yes,
There
God
is.
damn. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
no, you do that
never-
with your normal. Yeah, you do
But,
that with
I
your
mean-
normal intelligence.
Still at 2.
Yeah, so Pavo, you see, sort of in your mind, this ripple of energy that blasts out of this shield. And you see everyone but Nithdoris just all of a sudden, you know, uh, floating in the water, just, kind of stunned. And, they're still sort of moving spasmodically, and you can see their eyes aren't really focusing on anything. And you see Nithdoris is, he shakes his head and, sort of makes eyes with you. So, he's okay, but everybody else is currently stunned.
How are you gonna
That
make
was
friends
I don't know what that
and influence
was.
people? You've got to be nice to people.
I will
You're
do-
going back in your bag, and I will put him back in his bag.
Wait, are you
And-
talking to your shield?
Yes, I'm talking to the shield.
First of all, that shield needs to be destroyed and I'll find you a better one at the Temple of Umberly. I promise.
You're stunned.
I'm not stunned. I wasn't there.
Oh. No, we gotta destroy it, I mean. Also,
And you just hear a voice, and I mean, even Montauk, as you are stunned, it just says, "That was but a taste. I didn't even hurt your little brains."
Oh, piss off.
I'm gonna stand behind it from now on.
Yeah, Montauk's just like if he could broadcast back just thoughts of just like murder, he will.
And so after a minute, the four of you sort of recover your senses and your wits, and see Pavo, sort of shoving the shield back down in its bag, as Nithdoris and Rubel have sort of collected you all.
I'm
And at this
shaking you
point-
guys. Come on! Come on! Come on!
Come on, what?
Need
Wake up!
Oh,
take this to someone. Someone to
Be less dumb! I know it's hard, but we can do it!
Montauk is just gonna not speak to anyone else here. He's gonna just like go straight to the second level and start moving towards the prisoners. He
I
doesn't want to
agree.
know what's in that fucking locked room.
Wait, there's a locked room?
I want it.
there is a book thing.
He's gonna Montauk's gonna point to the key ring that Pavo has.
Got the keys. But
I'll help you.
Didn't I
Let's go.
kill the didn't I kill the frog before?
Oh,
So wait,
his
what?
familiar died a long time, or not a long time ago, like a day or ago, but it was an owl.
But no, didn't something Oh, I thought we went into that room and it died. But I guess
No,
That
it went
was
into
the
it couldn't find anything, and then it left.
Oh, so there's
Typically
nothing
that.
in the locked room.
Oh, the locked
Something
room. Yeah, in the locked room, I mean, it was covered in sort of silt and sand. There were some books, there were some silvered items on a table, and what appeared to be a spell book because there was one book that had a granite spine on it.
Okay, well then let's go in there, grab that, and get the fuck out.
how do you know the door isn't a mimic?
I'll poke at it with a stick.
Yeah, you think you
That door had chains on it.
The chains are also a mimic.
Poke at it with a stick.
well, I'll give you
What if the
keys.
All right.
what if the entire ship is a mimic?
Don't
Oh,
say
well then we're already dead.
don't say hurtful
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, so you guys swim back up to the main deck. You can see, I mean, there's still a few bodies floating around here. But other than that, the only points of interest are the double doors here, which have chains wrapped around them and a good sturdy lock, which, after looking at it for just a couple of seconds, you can figure out one of the keys on this key ring definitely opens this lock.
Okay,
Which
I'm
one of
gonna
you is going through?
Montauk before anything else happens is going to tappa the door and the chains.
You want to poke the shield?
That happens.
Don't bring out that shield.
Tappa
That's all right.
tappa.
Yo.
No mimics, no stickingness, no the thing.
Nope. You tap on it. The doors, move back and forth just sort of a little bit, as it's just the chains that are holding them, securely closed. But yeah, no mimic, no traps, nothing happens like that.
All right.
Scrap Heap takes out his sword and he starts hitting the chains and the door.
Thought
We
we
have-
had a thing for him.
We have a key.
You have the key.
Key. We're opening it with the key.
Opening
I'm
it
just taking out
normally.
I'm taking out my frustrations at the door.
After we open it normally, you can destroy everything you want.
Fine. I sheath my sword.
Especially with anything dealing with that false religion.
What, Umberly?
You did a good thing today, destroying that thing. So I'm going to let that go.
All right, so you open the door, and so you see this room is covered in silt and sand. But again, the coating of muck does little to sort of disguise that this place was, filled with, splendor at one point. You see this chandelier hanging from the ceiling, occasionally shedding particles of sand which glitter in the dim light. And toward the stern, you see a well-stocked bookshelf. The spines are sort of green with algae. In the center of the cabin, you see this long wooden table with silvery cutlery and candlesticks lying haphazardly on it. And on either wall are wooden desks, above which hang rotting paintings. Everything in here, though, is covered within an inch or more of sand and muck. And there's this thick curtain covered in slimy seaweed that splits the room in two.
I have Jacques go over, land on the table, and croak as loud as he can.
All right. He goes in, sits on the sort of, sits on the silt, disturbs everything, croaks, makes sound. No response.
Well, it looks like it's good to go in, guys.
All right, let's grab this shit and go.
Montauk is going to stand outside the room. He's going to reach in with the tip of his trident, and he's going to push back the curtain.
All right, you push back the curtain.
I will use Mage Hand to push it further back.
Was that sound that I just heard the curtain slamming open?
No, that was my mic falling over. So you guys push back the curtain, and here you can see this is where the other half of the chandelier is on this side. There's the bookcase. Most of these are green with algae. You see what appears to be, the shape of a bed. But again, everything here is just sort of covered in mounds of sand and muck.
Is there a captain's log? Do you see anything like that?
Montauk will step in, spear forward.
I think that's the captain's bedroom, not his bathroom, over.
All right. You see there are a couple of desks, one down here in the back. The other one is off to the side here. But
I'm going
token is
to
moved.
stop Montauk from moving forward. Ask for 10 minutes. A little more than 10 minutes.
I'm currently
ritually cast Detect Magic.
All right.
I do have that spell, yes.
You sit, you guys, you breathe, you sort of look around, you see a couple of, seahorses and other jellyfish sort of float by. And after 10 minutes, Nithdoris, your spell goes off. The book that you saw with the granite spine definitely is magical, and you pick up a glyph that triggers off as well of conjuration magic.
Where's the glyph?
On the book.
Is it possible to use Mage Hand to scratch the glyph to render it untriggerable?
You can only actually.
I would assume using some sort of implement, but
yeah, the glyph is you pick up. Actually, I'll say conjuration magic. I mean, the glyph isn't on the spine of the book, so you can't actually see it at this point.
Okay. Well, so where is the book? Oh, okay. It's not on the spine, or it is on the spine.
The glyph is not on the spine.
But okay. But I do see magic radiating from that book.
Yes.
Okay. So I will caution everybody. I'm going to move Jacques back about here just in case. And using the old mage hand razzle dazzle, I'm going to very slowly pull the book out from the shelf.
Yep, you pull the book out, and it slides off easily enough. I mean, it is very heavy for your mage hand, but you are able to lift it and draw it all the way over to yourself. And so you can see that, the spine is, definitely granite, and the pages, you can see the edges of this as you even sort of turn it and sort of look towards it, are clearly magical, as they are still in perfect condition. The cover of this appears to be some kind of, could be eel skin or fish skin, something like that, but the spine itself is granite.
All right. And do I see what source of magic is emanating from this thing yet?
You do not. It is presumably on the inside of it.
I'm going to bind the book shut so that it won't accidentally come unopened when I don't want it to, and say that there's something in this that might set it off that I don't want to set off, but it's something we should at least hold on to. And was there anything else in the room that was worthy of taking that was magical? I forget.
A few silver items.
There were a few silver items. You guys haven't done a full exploration of the room, but nothing else magical seemed to jump out at you.
Okay. Montauk will tap the floor. Actually, no, we're all swimming, so we shouldn't be putting too much weight on the floor here.
Yeah, I figure move in and
snatch and grab.
Yeah. Assuming there's nothing to attack us.
Nothing has moved to attack. Give me an investigation check as you guys move in and look around the room.
I will certainly do that. Could I possibly be guidanced beforehand?
Yes. Guidance. Take on the blessings of Umberly, my child.
So, Nithdoris, as you move around, you see a few of these silvered items on the table itself are, you find a pair of candlesticks, you find some silver chalices, there's some silver cutlery that all has a bit of value. One of these paintings, you actually realize, your detect magic would have shown there's an aura of abjuration around this painting, and it's of a female Kalashite ship's captain done up very regally, and you figure whatever this abjuration magic is, it prevents it from ever getting dirty, and it's probably worth a fair bit. The big prize, you notice a small wooden chest is stuffed in the sand and mud underneath what clearly was a bed frame at one point.
All right, we will grab the loot.
Yeah, you grab that, and as you brush it off, you can see there is a fine, brass lock with a keyhole. None of the keys on the key ring of the captain fit it, but yeah, so it's a 1 foot by like 8 inches. Clearly the kind of thing that you would recognize traditionally is a way of carrying sort of potions or things like that. But as this is pulled out from under the bed, You all leap back as this bloated corpse sits upright in the bed before you that's been covered by sand and mud, and it's, floats off of it, and it turns its head towards you, its eyes burning with rage, and it opens its mouth to shout at you, and you see dozens of leeches just sort of spill out of its mouth.
Oh.
And as that happens, it kind of spits, and it just sort of looks at all of you and just says, "Thieves, how dare you take from me?"
We thought you were dead. If you want it back, it's yours.
Technically, we're
And
using
he-
salvagers' rights.
He looks at you and just says, "I may in fact be dead, but I need my things." And he looks at you, Nithdoris, and he goes, "Give me my spell book back before I obliterate you." And he looks around and says, "Which one of you thieves has my staff? Where's my staff?"
Did we find a staff?
We did not.
We just kind of look. Montauk just looks at him and says, "No staff."
And he stares at you, and you see him cast, and you very clearly recognize this as sort of detect, magic as well, Nithdoris, and you see him sort of scan everything around, and he picks up literally sort of the items you guys are wearing, and you see him nod, and he just snaps these bony fingers, Nithdoris, but he says, "My book now."
The book.
Okay. Question, Patrick.
Yes.
Could I potentially do some sort of insight check or something to figure out just how much weight class this guy could swing in?
Sure. Give me an insight check. From the looks of him, he is clearly undead, but wearing robes and imagery that mark him to your eyes as a very powerful wizard sort.
So
Go ahead.
what you're saying is that right now he definitely be able to cream the party, in my character's expert opinion.
You would think so.
Okay.
And I mean, as you are sort of even, hesitating, you can see, I mean, this is clearly an undead being, and it's got these like blasted red eyes that you see are starting to sort of focus on you, and you can actually get the sense in your head that, I mean, there is some dark dealings happening with this person.
So dumbing it down, Nithdoris thinks it's a bad idea to piss this guy off, and giving the book back to him is the best of worst options right now.
Yes, though he's interested in his book, but he is clearly more upset at his staff not being here.
Staff of the Magi.
And I will say, with your detect magic still being up, as he, came out of being under complete cover of this sort of rock and dirt and silt, you pick up he's wearing at least a couple of magical rings as well.
Okay, I will. I will nod and very slowly and carefully retrieve the book, not making any sudden movements. I will place it on the floor and use Mage Hand to slowly slide it across the floor towards him.
and you will see, his own mage hand comes out, picks it up off the floor, and you see it tuck into the robes, and he, shakes off the rest of the dirt and silt and just says, "You may take the trifles, but next time we cross paths, if you try and take anything from me, I will put you in the soil for good."
Wait. We should ask him. No, we shouldn't ask him about the shield.
Yeah, Montauk is just like wordlessly pushing everyone back as he is backing out of the room.
I use an action to pop Jacques into his demi-plane.
All right.
It's easier than trying to move him.
And then we are going to close the door.
Well, don't close the door. He's actually, coming out of these doors. And
okay.
he will just
never
say,
mind.
"Those nasty fish people must have taken it." And you can see he casts something and sort of detects out. And after a few seconds, you see him turn in one particular direction, and he just goes, "The rocks." And you see this grin sort of cross his face, and he looks at you and just says, "You in fact did not take it. But if I find out you had any assistance with those who did, I will find you." And then he pushes off, and you can see him very quickly just start swimming off in one direction.
Prisoners
had a
and Montauk
gesture
will start
Yeah,
swimming
we-
towards
we-
As he's flying away to all of the corpses around them.
Oh, that changes my plan. I thought we could destroy
I
the
don't
ship
think he
before we
necessarily.
left.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily cares about the corpses that we made here.
Well, like I like to prove like we obviously didn't do anything with these guys. We killed them.
I think that he mostly just considers these corpses to be fresh materials to work with. Let's get out of here with our prisoners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you
Oh,
guys do still have this box that he left you with, and you have the silverware and things like that that you were able to collect in here.
Is he
Uh,
abandoned the ship, or is he?
Do you guys want to I will say, as you made your way through the room as well, you found a couple of the drawers on this desk were locked, Nithdoris, as well.
You want to quickly peek in, or should we just GTFO?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking as much as we possibly can.
By the way, can Montauk see these rocks that he's talking about?
No.
Okay, so the rocks are somewhere off in the distance.
Yes, and I mean, he seems potentially very far off in the distance.
Okay, make it quick. He's not going to be back right now, but so
Take the trifles. So
Yeah, so we're gonna run in and
Montauk
have someone out on Overwatch to see if he's coming back to call us back.
Yeah,
hopefully before he sees us.
Montauk's just going to haul the chest out of their hole, like just in one
Good
go.
job, Montauk.
Oh no, these are drawers. We've got the chest.
These are locked desk drawers.
Oh, forget the chest. You guys can lift the chest. Montauk's going to grab the desk.
You're just gonna grab the whole desk?
Yeah, we're walking out of here, right? With the magical keep the water away things.
Yep, Montauk's grabbing the whole desk.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, we're
fine.
taking the word stones
you
and we
rip
move.
this. Yeah, you rip this desk off, and I mean, you can feel the floor underneath you buckle slightly, as clearly you're above the area where you just destroyed the mast as well. But you are able to heft this desk over your shoulder, Montauk, and very slowly you guys make your way out.
Yep. Grab the prisoners. Montauk will just burst in and go, "You up now."
We're going home.
All right. So you guys make your way into the prisoner area. Let me put you guys back there. And so down here, there is the chest. You guys now have the keys for it.
That's got the what's his face's loot, right?
Who's got the chest?
Yeah.
Grab Peep. Grab the chest.
Yeah, so you open up the chest that is in here, and immediately, you pull out his instrument, and you recognize this, Pavo, as a Chultan sort of instrument, and a very well-made one as well. And inside you also find a bundle of parchments and scrolls that are sort of piecemealed together. And are you guys going to take a look at any of these, or do you just want to get going?
We'll still have Detect Magic up. It lasts an hour, right?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, right?
Yeah, none of these appear magical. These all appear to be things that were taken. A lot of these other items, Wester picks up a ring. Thrillia picks up, some of her weapons. And Luth, grabs a dagger and, a fine sort of earring that he puts back in his ear. None of them, see to know what these sort of parchments or scrolls, because it's a lot of things that were stolen from other prisoners that are no longer alive.
All right. So yeah, we'll hold on to the rest, and we'll give them back their stuff, and then we slowly make our way across the floor back to shore.
All right, you guys swim out. Yeah, you guys, each of you picking up one of these rocks or having one of the prisoners do it as well. You find that, if you keep them all sort of, around each other, this air bubble continues to move with it. It takes you a bit of time because you have to sort of move slowly and gauge depths with these things. But you do make your way back to shore.
Is the boat not waiting for us, I thought?
No, you guys came in from the cliffs and the shoreline. There is no boat.
Yeah, we swam down.
So you guys and the 4 people you are with clamber out of this onto the beach on this sort of rocky shoreline. You're able to sort of sit and sort of gather your breath, and then you see Montauk storming up with this desk still over his shoulder that he slams down into the sand beside you. And we'll take a quick bathroom break and then pick up from there.
I'm going to leave this desk here right on the beach.
It's going to be like that piano on the beach in, is it New York or New Jersey?
This is a thing I've never heard of.
I wish somebody left a piano out on the beach and it kind of became a landmark while it was still there.
Why would you why would you even do that?
Because you're a teenager, you find a piano on the side of the road, you say, hey guys, wouldn't it be funny if people woke up tomorrow and found a piano on the beach? And you half drunkenly carry a piano out onto the beach.
Half drunkenly?
Well, you need something to go back to. You'll give up halfway. I'll be right back.
Yeah, same.
I was so certain the person we gave a weapon to was going to have killed the other prisoners when we got back.
Yeah.
Because we both, 2 people inside and we both rolled really low.
I know, right? That was bad.
Oh my god, we're on the surface where I can use a proper goddamn bow again, though.
So I'm not sure how this happened, but I'm finally at least got a stable connection.
Yeah, you dropped out in the middle of that fight.
Yeah. My wireless connection was slow as something slow times 10 to the 100 millionth power. It was so bad that I was standing 3 feet from the router, and I was getting a latency ping in Discord of 5,000, which is the maximum you can get, which is horrible. And I was getting an internet speed probably somewhere in the realm of a couple kilobytes a second, which is crap. So I ended up plugging in because, and as soon as I did, magically fixed itself in about 5 seconds.
Be
I'm
level
back.
5 though.
I'm back, and Montauk is suddenly Thorian as he appears with a glass of wine.
We're gonna level up, I believe, right? Patrick said we were leveling up after this ship.
I think so.
Level up, do. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Oh my
that.
god.
No,
attack?
don't.
Extra advantage?
Wait,
Because that's what's
don't
gonna
level
happen
up?
when
No, like
we're I think we're about to. But are you guys ready for 4 attacks with triple advantage or double advantage, however you want to describe it?
You
How do
already
you
have
even get
triple
that?
advantage, you evil bastard.
No, I mean yes, but I mean I can make them all have advantage, so I can
Oh
force
yeah, and you
that.
can action surge. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me pull out
The
my.
the only sad thing is I can't get the crit on a 19 that champions get, and also get fighting spirit because they're both fighter subclasses.
Yeah.
Because accuracy is nice, but it doesn't increase your chance to hit that much. It just increases your chance to crit.
Champion's kind of a bit bland, though.
It's
got a bunch of like decent abilities, but
it's got one really good ability.
Yeah,
that's better.
If champion had a way to force advantage, Old Silver would probably be a champion instead of a samurai.
Hmm.
And also
Peter.
maybe a
finish. No, go ahead, Brendan. You finish.
maybe a crossbow fighter as well.
I was gonna ask. Okay, with Fireball, it only does damage to creatures, right? Not
No,
nope. It does
everything on
damage
fire.
to everything.
but
just
it
nobody ever
says
cares about that.
no. But if you look at the way this is why I'm asking. Okay, so the spell, the wording of the spell says creature, but fire can jump to object. So does that mean that if there's a bucket
Target
sitting there, which is
a
creature,
target, not creature, a target takes 8d6. Everything in the radius takes 8d6 damage. Just nobody ever pays attention to the things that aren't creatures. Also,
Everybody
Patrick,
back?
desk on the map.
Here's
Damn
how
right
it
he did.
Each creature
Yeah.
in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on the point must make a dexterity saving throw.
Because only creatures can make saving throws.
Yes,
but
and then each target.
Everything takes the 8d6 damage.
Okay, so taking that, does that transfer that same theory transfer over to other spells, say like what was it? Thunderwave.
Generally things that deal non-psychic damage or poison damage are going to affect objects.
Yeah,
Right.
most AOE spells that aren't psychic, basically any AOE spell that is that deals any damage but psychic damage, there's a good chance it's going to be affecting everything in the area.
All right,
I
so
can
that
think.
answers my that completely answers my question, because my question was, could I have stood on top of that ship and brought it to the ground just by casting Thunderclap over and over and over? But
Yeah.
there's a lich, so I won't do that.
Yeah, you could have. It would have been a bad idea, but you could have.
That was my plan. Well, if there wasn't a lich.
Very afraid of that lich.
Yeah,
He wasn't a lich.
Was
he?
What the hell was he?
It was an undead of some sort.
Oh
this
my
campaign
god,
is
was
not
it undead?
Give me an Arcana check if you want to
I want
try
to do
and
that.
think about it.
What about like? Did he seem particularly nautically themed? Could I maybe make like a?
Oh, apparently, I'm not on my A game.
Privilege.
He did
A
no.
history check?
He was clearly a wizard of some sort. I mean, the portrait of the captain that you guys took was of a woman. He was clearly a wizard. But in terms of what he was as an undead, he appeared more as a revenant rather than a lich.
Was he
What
at
would a
least a
ruin-
double-digit spellcaster?
You're not sure. You may well meet him again.
Okay.
wake him up? Is that what happened? Like, was
Yes,
he
as soon
asleep?
as you, he was basically asleep, and yeah. So as soon as you guys started rustling and actually started taking things from him, he slowly sort of wakes up as you guys move through the room. But you did a good job in getting his book at first. That didn't set him off right away.
Yeah, if you had blown up his book, there wouldn't have been a lot of talking.
Well, the nice thing is that glyph actually casts stone shape, which
Ooh.
causes the metal spine to create stone manacles to wrap around your hands. So as a spellcaster, you can't cast spells.
That's a. I was wondering why the hell is it a granite spined book? That would explain it.
There would be a problem with that in the well, not right now, but when I hit level 5, in the fact of I can cast Misty Step once as a racial ability.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
most things can't.
All right, but with that, so you guys have dragged this desk. The people on the beach immediately, they're breathing. Everyone's sort of chilled. You guys get a fire going rather readily. Whistle in the dark as he introduces himself, plays you sort of a little bit of music, which makes everyone kind of feel a bit better. But night is starting to fall. You guys are on this beach. What would you like to do?
Probably take. Let's see. It'd probably be somewhere in the realm of an hour and a half to identify everything.
How far away from town? We're a couple hours.
We're about an hour away or so, from what I remember.
Might be just
No, from this, you guys traveled a couple of days out of town. You're at the very north end of the island at this point.
Okay.
Let's rest here.
Yes. So,
or maybe like a little bit off the beach, so we're not like Sahag and Chow's in them overnight.
Well, before we do that, we do any of the keys open the drawers?
No.
Okay.
Before poking around, let's take a rest. We're covered a bit.
I'll scout for.
Yeah, I figured we'd short rest, let everyone warm up. I can start identifying the stuff that we do have available, and then we can pack up, move in further inland to a safer spot to spend the night.
That sounds like a good idea. I want you to pay extra attention to that shield.
Yeah, and Montauk, I will say, as you were carrying this desk, you could definitely hear things moving inside the drawers, back and forth, and you heard like the jingle of coin occasionally as it sort of tipped and hit one side.
This is a good desk. All right. All
right, so you guys sit, you take your hour, you learn about the other things that you guys have collected. I will say also, as you look through some of these parchments and scrolls, you see one of them sticks out to both Scrap Heap and Old Silver, as it is a map of the Sword Coast, and you see that it has been scrawled upon in a way that reminds you of very similar things that you have seen in the past. Let me find it.
So make sure everyone 5 hit points for Song of Rest.
So
Yep.
what are you regaling
Oh,
us
found-
with? Which music are you regaling us with?
Oh. The workshopped version of
Rock Lobster!
what we just did.
Rock Lobster! Oh, we didn't. We could have, like,
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
could have
What
brought
about-
the lobster
What about
out.
the Hardware Store by Weird Al?
Well, Ishka, we should pull that lobster out tomorrow. Tomorrow morning before we leave.
Sounds good.
We might be able
Anyway.
to turn the carapace into something.
In the slime lobster.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
The carapace might be good.
You
for
would
Ishka.
you would say no if you looked at that. Whatever the slime or anything was, it had started softening that carapace, so it wouldn't. You could make something of it, but it would not actually be good leather. But yeah, this map doesn't seem to be here right now. But yeah, you see, there's a map of the Sword Coast, and you see that the cities of Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate have been blotted out with black ink, and the city of Waterdeep itself has been circled. And you recognize that a map such as this signifies that a pirate attack is being planned to be carried out on those locations.
How old does it look?
Yeah. When did? Okay. A, does this map look like it was created by the original crew of the vessel or by the inhabitants of the ship when we came upon her?
All of the things that you found in this chest with the prisoners are all new, and the prisoners there can all say it is very recent.
Okay. Thank you.
Probably
is
tells
some-
Lord Lance.
Yeah. So this is some other prisoner that they took, but who happened to be a pirate.
Or Hugin themselves. They're sort of like pirates. They're just pirates that live underwater.
Yeah, we took out their evil fish brainy god. They're fine. By the way, Pavo, have you not ditched that shield yet?
I thought we were
mean-
gonna destroy it.
Take it to someone who knows what
So-
it is.
Didn't it play beautiful chiming music earlier?
It's beautiful, horrible music that you sort of hear and chiming your head. It makes you want to like grit your teeth
So it's
and
Yanni.
grind them.
So like
Pretty close to it. It's maybe it's a little different to everyone who hears it.
All right. So Montauk is going to step back, and he is going to aim the tip of his maul against the side of the desk drawers, because he's going to knock the fronts off the desk drawers.
All right, yeah, you smash in through the side of the desk. And I mean, this desk is wet. The wood is soft and sort of rotted. It cracks and splinters. There is a burst of spray that sprays up in your face. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
And that's why I was standing back. But okay. 14.
Yeah, you just barely get the taste of clearly what is some sort of poison that was in a container, and it's actually along the side wall of the desk. But you take no damage from it.
Okay.
And as it, this sort of breaks and cracks, one of the legs gives out, the desk tips on its side, and sliding out onto the sand in front of you is a, satisfying clatter of gold coins, you hope, as you hear a what's the word? A pouch sort of hits the ground in front of you. There's also a gem that lands on the ground, and a round rotten leather sheath that sort of splats down on the ground as well.
Montauk will poke at the sheath.
You poke at the sheath and it sort of splits, and inside you see a long cylindrical object. Looks like it is maybe wood with sort of brass fittings and rings around it. Old Silver, you immediately recognize this as a spyglass.
Oh, give me! I lost my last one when the edge was taken from me.
Montauk tosses it to him.
I grab it. Oh God. This is incredibly valuable.
Mm.
And interesting.
Yeah,
And
it
I
is.
will
It is old,
extend
but it is very well preserved.
I will extend it and look through it to make sure it works, and then I will not hand it to Montauk, but like,
Can I see?
yeah, look through it, and I'll hold it.
I look through the wrong end. Everything's small. This thing's useless.
All I see is giant bird eye.
Pavo, the way.
It works, and with your eyes, eagles, Pavo, you can actually see very far, and everything is very, very clear.
Holy Christ! What's that over there on the side of that mountain? And everyone's like, "What mountain?"
I was so worried you guys weren't going to find that.
Oh,
Inside the rotting pouch, you find assorted coins that total up to 435 gold pieces, and a large diamond worth 300 gold.
We keep
Vivify
that.
diamond.
It
Montauk
would sure work for.
Montauk will point that out to Rubel.
What was that? Sorry, my headset's going in and out.
There's a spyglass. There's
There's not a
400.
I have a glass.
Yeah, there's some coin. And then there's a diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
All right, that should be taken into my care so I can resurrect y'all.
Yes.
And the other thing, I mean, you see this other sapphire that has fallen onto the ground.
Anything magical?
I'm gonna again ritually cast detect magic to see if any of the new stuff we found is magical.
No, we still have a
This
chest.
sapphire absolutely is.
I will then ritually cast identify.
Are you gonna piss off?
It is
scary
a
guy?
gem of seeing.
Oh, the scary guy's gonna be able to see us.
So you know that, I mean, this sapphire has 3 charges, and when you speak its command word, you will have true sight out to 120 feet when you peer through it.
A 3-use thing done. Not a 3-use.
Nope, it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
God, that's amazing.
So it's charge based. I remember.
I would like to point out I cannot be scryed upon.
Why not?
Proof. I am able to proof against detection.
Sweet.
Right. So it's charge based. You don't just
Yes.
look through it and you get true seeing all the time.
Yeah.
As you're looking through it. So you don't just mount it to an eye patch and then walk around as like the world's blingiest pirate.
That is correct. So yeah, you peer through it, you speak its command word, and for 10 minutes you have true sight. You could maybe jam it into the eye socket of Scrapheap.
I was just going to say that. Replace one of my eyes with that, and for 10 minutes. That would be so awesome.
All right. What's in the chest?
Opening the chest up, there is a potion of vitality, a potion of greater healing, and a potion of mind reading.
It's on top of the treasure from the Golden Crown. Like it's already on our. Yeah.
No, I haven't added those in yet.
Okay, so that's the last.
Coincidence because we have 3 of them on the list already.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Also, we got some scrolls. Did we count those as well? Or did we not count those?
No, the scrolls, they were mostly sort of notes and things like that. It was only the pirate map that is of any value from those.
Okay. So that's that. And yes, Montauk will sit not too far from the fire, but not too close. You can tell he's cold and wet, but it doesn't seem to bother him. And he's just gonna chill out on the beach. He's smashed things. He's killed, elder gods. He's happy.
All right. You also have people that are shivering and hungry.
Okay, actually, you know what? Montauk can handle this. He's going to look at the shivering, hungry people and be like, okay. And he's going to stalk off into the woods and use his background feature, which is, I believe, Wanderer. I can find fresh food and water for myself and up to 5 other people per day if the land supports it.
All right, yeah, you find enough food for 6 people.
Nice.
Excellent.
There are 9 of you that need food, though.
Silver will start fishing while he does
There are
that.
10 of us.
Didn't anybody?
Scrappy doesn't need to eat.
Yeah.
Did none of you rations?
Silver, Montauk, Ishka, Pavo, me, Rue, and then there are 4 other people.
I
that
have
is correct.
rations with my retainers.
I have
Oh,
rations.
and then the retainers.
Yeah, I have rations as well, but Montauk's going to attempt to find fresh food for these people.
I too have rations. For some reason, I was issued rations before I left. So yeah.
Any luck fishing?
Give me a nature check.
Is it intelligence nature still, or is there another skill that I could or stat that I could use?
I try as well with this new spear.
Constitution.
Oh, I was
Hang
hoping
on,
for
there is. Well, no, I'm going to
Oh.
check. They actually have new fishing rules in Rime of the Frost Maiden.
I would like to try that with the
terrible roll.
spear. Then is that still a nature check, or
I would have thought it would have been a survival check.
I would have thought so as well. But I think Patrick's looking it up right now. So
use fancy rules.
Yeah, I'm not going to dig through the book right now. Yeah, give me a survival check.
All right.
20.
All right. Now give me a strength check to hang on. As you do catch a fish, you catch a very large fish that is fighting you.
13.
This I know is part of it. 13, yeah. You are able to sort of use your line and play it back and forth. Eventually, you drag this very large swordfish out of the water and get it up onto the beach.
First time and he catches a swordfish. Son of a
First
bitch.
time. I've been fishing for 700 years, Montauk.
From this beach?
Well, in general, from a lot of beaches and ships, piers, a dock and a lake.
With that, you guys have enough food to feed everyone for the night. Montauk has found water. You guys move a little bit inland. You are able to, still camp for the night. Rubel's retainers have, set up nothing fancy, but good basic gear for you guys to be able to spend the night out here. You guys have been traveling. You had, all your sort of camping goods and tents and things like that with you. The night is cold, but it, passes. The wind sort of whips. Morning comes. There is a mist sort of on the land that gets sort of blown off. The sort of gray clouds part, and you get this brilliant sunshine for at least a couple of hours in the morning, which warms you as you, finish off the last of this sort of fish and some of the rations. You're able to find some herbs to make at least something approximating sort of a hot morning tea. You guys have all leveled up to level 5, and you need to figure out where you want to go next.
To level 5?
You guys all reach level 5.
Let's hear it for extra attack, Montauk. Scrappy.
Yes.
And everybody else gets goddamn 3rd level spells.
Yes, the fireball shall fly.
Yeah. Well,
And
knowing
so
Lauren
you guys,
psychic balls.
yeah, you guys get, you guys wake up. You are on the northern edge of this island of Gunderland. And so you have the head of this Sahugan Baron that you can bring back to Jarl Frostgale for a great reward. You still can return to the king to let him know that everything here has been taken care of, and as well, is there anything else you guys want to do? You can help reunite Byrne and his mom, Westra, as you have let her know that Byrne is back at port. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do here on the island?
Andrew Bell back her crossbow.
Let's serve me
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah, there you go. Montag's going to keep his trident, unless Jarl Frostgale wants it back.
Well, you guys were also able to collect a couple of tridents and things like that from the ship armory as well. So you may well be able to keep that, or I'm sure in bringing back the head of the Baron, you can try and convince him to let you keep it.
We could try that. Yeah, Jarl Frostgale, because I don't want to carry this head around any longer than I have to. It's gonna go off. Yeah, on our way back to the king, so that we can reunite Byrne with his mom, and let everyone know that everything is fine forever. No further issues with the Sahugan.
I don't know about that.
Yes, we killed their creepy brain god, so it's fine.
More Sahugan are just going to move in.
Yes,
Pavo, as you slept through the night, you had beautiful dreams of flying, but as you are flying over this island, you can see, back along the path that you followed, there is, not terribly far from where you guys are, and you recognize it as an area you passed, but there is a branch, an offshoot, which leads to a massive hole in the rock, and you feel you're being, called to this, and you see this sort of overgrown path that spreads ahead of you, and clearly, you see at your feet as you're walking through, and you can, you're just barely flying over the ground. You see there are rusted tools lying strewn about, and as you make your way towards this sort of cliff face, you can see clearly an entrance to a subterranean space. But you see that there are boulders that have sealed shut this entrance. But you feel this pang and this longing to figure out what is behind these as you wake up.
Ooh, a mystery. And that's the mine, I'm assuming?
It feels like it's the mine to you.
All right. I will. Do I want to mention that now, or do we leave that for later? We'll leave that for later for right now. But, oh wait, in relation to where we are, where is the mine?
You guys are at the northern tip of this island. You are heading back along the western coastline. So the mine is about a half a day's trek from where you guys are now. And then there's another, good days or half day's journey to where the Jarl is. So you guys passed it along the way, or you passed, the pathway leading to it on your way here. But it is slightly away from where you guys are.
All right. So,
But yeah, so it's back towards Fiskerbach, but not directly. Along the path, you would have to turn off it to get to the mine itself.
can you prompt me when we get to that point, in case I forget?
Sure.
Beauty.
All right. With that, you guys pack up in the morning and start making your way back to Fiskerbach. The pathway is worn to you guys as you were brought here by your guide. After a couple of hours, you're going along this mountain trail, and as you are moving along around this island, you do once again notice sort of a pile of discarded mining equipment that you guys have passed on your way here, with pickaxes, carts, sledgehammers, and the like, all sort of rusted around this trail. And you can see the broken pier where the ships used to clearly come in to collect the adamantine and other things that were pulled up from this mine. So this is the area where you recognize from your dream, Pavo, that you were you left the main path and started flying towards the mine, which is probably about a quarter mile off of the trail that you're on currently.
Probably a good place to stop for the day. It's for lunch, isn't it? I'm getting kind of hungry.
Insight check this shit. Hold on, let me finish leveling up.
Does looking at him with the spyglass give me advantage on insight?
No, because you look at him and all you see is a close-up of one of his feathers.
Right, but Montauk sees right through his bullshit.
The bard?
Yeah, my roll.
Oh, you don't have expertise in deception.
No.
Yeah, Pavo says this, and yeah, Montauk, you clearly hear like something in his voice that sets you off. There's just sort of an unnaturalness to this that has Pavo asking for a good place to stop for lunch, kind of a thing. And you can see him eyeing this, sort of overgrown path leading towards the cliff face.
Come, little bird man. The haunted mine has nothing for you.
Can I back away if he comes closer?
Pavo,
Look at this.
you shouldn't hold on to that shield for too long.
No.
Give it to someone else. We should all share the burden.
Anybody? No, it's my burden to keep. I've kept it so far. It could infect you.
Pavo, hand the shield over.
It is not the one shield. Leave it.
Let's
Leave it.
We'll fly up.
I'll throw my grappling hook at Papa. Try and grab him with it.
All right, as Pavo flies off, Old Silver, roll me an attack with your grappling hook.
Is that just going to be ranged with no proficiency? Like straight dex?
I will throw my grappling hook.
Improvised weapon.
Is that a ranged grapple attack, or?
It's an attempt at it.
Hit.
That -3. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Okay, Pavo, give me an acrobatics check to avoid this.
All right, and it's a new day, right? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, 1 second, just checking something. Okay. Ah!
Is it
19
side of the equation, Montauk?
I'm sorry?
Is it on the side of the equation, Chris, instead of on the Pavo side?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so Pavo, you start to leap up into the air, and very quickly Montauk and Silver just have sort of wrapped grappling hooks around your legs and are holding you firm from flying. They're not doing any damage to you, but you are unable to get more than about 10 feet off the ground.
We should just walk down the path with him hovering up there like a balloon.
Nope. Get the shield off of him.
Ropes.
I mean, you need 10. I think you need slashing damage, don't you?
I use the edge of my knife.
You see Pavo start to lean over and start slicing, and one of the ropes immediately starts fraying. It hasn't broken yet, but it definitely starts fraying.
Yeah. So Montauk leaps up, grabs grabs Pavo by the scruff of the neck and drags him down.
Help, Blinky.
Grab the
Blinky.
shield. Old Silver's gonna try and grab the shield.
All right, give me another grapple check. Yes, he manages to. You get nothing but a handful of feathers, Montauk, as you reach up and try and drag him to the ground.
I point a finger at the bird and say, "Come down now before I hit you with lightning."
Sleep.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's not going to work. Sleep never works for me.
We're too high a level for it now.
We all have more than 20 hit points.
Yeah, Nithora stifles a yawn as you do that, Pavo. And with that, I would say, in that time that it would take to do that, Montauk and Old Silver, you can attempt to you can give me a strength check if you want to try and drag Pavo to the ground.
Get down here. Get over
here. You are brought down, they are sort of pulling you down. You're now just a few feet off the ground, Pavo, as you take your time to cast this spell.
All right. Open the sack.
All right, yeah, you open the sack. The shield spins, rolls sort of lazily onto the side. You see this, eye insignia on top of it, and it just blinks once in the sun.
Yeah, and we'll drag Pavo away from the shield. We're just gonna leave the shield there.
I'm gonna cover the shield and drag it away from Pavo.
All right, yeah, you throw part of your cloak over it and just sort of lift it away.
I gotta see what's behind the boulders. There's something there. It's important. It'll make us rich.
It's a cursed mine.
Rich as sea elves.
I'm not saying we don't investigate the mine, but we need more information.
Yeah, and Westra will actually pipe up and says, "Oh, he's right. Everyone knows that mine is cursed. It's a horrid, horrid place. We're never supposed to go near it. The people that used to mine there went insane."
Really?
Insane,
Whatever
you say?
The Sahuagin that captured you were worshipping is connected in some way. We need as much information as we can get before we go diving down there, half-cocked.
Well, we can't go right in anyway. There's something blocking the door, I think.
The Kalashite who built it, the woman who used to run the mine, she cursed that place with greed. There's nothing there. I'm always having to keep Byrne and his little friends from wandering out here and exploring it.
Why did she curse it with greed?
Oh, it got cursed with greed.
Yeah, she said whatever they were digging, no one knows if they dug too deep or what they were looking for, but that mine is, everyone knows that mine is a cursed place.
No, it's where the music came from.
The music? I thought music came from your heart.
Well, I'm from Blinky.
Okay,
Right.
Stop it. Don't call that Eldritch Horror or Blinky.
I would like to attempt a radical cognitive reconditioning on Pavo.
Oh?
Ooh.
He's saying electroshock therapy.
No, I'm saying I want to smack him upside the head.
Ooh, yes, I understand that. Let's do it
a hard-
together.
Hard
There
reset.
might be better thing than
Being,
beating
let me
him.
see.
You have some kind of restoration spell, Rubel.
I do have lesser restoration, but let's see if we can smack it out of him first. Save the spell slot.
Everybody goes deaf. Wait, can I cast that if I'm being pinned down? I think so, right? Because I'm only being pinned.
Montauk's got you under his arm like a fresh market
Yeah,
chicken.
You can't just restrain him. He still has. He can still do somatic components.
To see what it has. It's one action somatic.
Ow.
So yeah, so Pavo fluffs his feathers, and there is this sort of loud crack of thunder that surrounds him.
around. Does it actually do anything? No? Damn it. Oh, wait. Nobody only got one constitution check.
I mean, he's dragged you away.
Silver was the other one that was holding you. So, but yeah, Montauk.
Because Silver grabbed the shield and moved it further away from Pavo.
That is true. Yes, only Montauk is holding you at this point.
I thought we were.
And you
closer
guys,
than 100 feet. That's all.
Oh, a thunderclap's 100 feet?
Yeah, it's 100 fucking.
No,
feet.
Thunderclap is 5 feet.
Yeah,
5 feet. It can be heard, but it only damages those within 5 feet.
Oh, just calm down.
Yeah, and you guys notice. I mean, Pavo hasn't, seemed in any way to be like under a thrall. He's just sort of very curious at this point.
My ass.
But he is, sort of resisting and fighting you guys. But he doesn't. You notice he doesn't seem to, be going after Silver or anything like that for taking the shield.
All right, it's time for corrective measures. Time for a spanking.
She approaches one last. I don't like spanking. Boo. I don't know how that works. If I poof up even more.
We need to discuss what we're doing with this shield. We can
put it in a bag.
Yes, but we need to pass it around every few hours or something. It's okay if you don't want to take it, Montauk.
I do not want to touch that thing. We should put it in a bag and then drag it behind us.
The dreams were pretty intense, like when you smoke a hookah.
God.
Those on watch should be taking care of it. Nobody should be in possession or sleeping.
Yeah, so Montauk, give me a wisdom insight check, please, versus Pavo trying to intimidate you.
Okay.
I thought that was for that was in reaction to Rubel saying spanking.
Montauk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Rubel, give me an insight check versus Pavo trying to intimidate you after you threaten him with a spanking.
Can I guidance myself?
No, because this is just a quick sort of response.
Bitch!
Even so, you are not intimidated.
Close,
That's a
though.
+9?
Yes, that was the we worked out thing with me having the feet menacing.
It makes sense that would be what you take as a peacock. Yeah. As a
response, Montauk is going to move his he's holding him down with his left arm. He's going to move his right arm over his fist with his middle knuckle extended and touch the top of his head and just raise his eyebrow.
Play that again.
Have you ever heard of the concept of a noogie?
Figured that's what it was, but I wasn't 100%. Stop it. Stop it.
You calm?
Do I need to spank you, young man?
Why do you spank him so much?
Because he's being a dick!
But come on.
This is what we do back at the monastery.
No one needs to hear about your 60 times.
What you do behind the curtains at the monastery is your business.
She said they spanked Dick.
No!
It should have anything to do with this.
All right. I'm going to propose that we move along.
Yes, I will calm down.
All right. So
Sit
I'll
down, my
take this shift. Ishka, will you hold it in 4 hours? We'll say 4-hour-long shifts.
I will.
And then watches over us at night. We'll watch the shield as well, so nobody's sleeping, holding the shield.
Yeah, no strange fucking dreams.
Montauk, I know you don't want to hold the shield, but would you mind, say, carrying a chest?
Yeah.
One of the chests?
Oh, wait, we already left the beach. We don't have the chests on us.
Yeah. No, we emptied those and then tossed the chest into the water.
I was gonna say we could lock it in the chest at night.
Maybe.
Just saying. Just saying.
No! I whip out my paddle.
Come back for the mine. There's
Why do you
something in the
have a
mine.
paddle?
Why don't you have a paddle?
Moving along.
Why does it say good times in the rear?
Use paddles for something completely
No,
different.
it says Yowie on it.
Are we trying to go quietly?
We're arguing at a crossroads right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
just
you
checking
guys
in.
continue along the path, this mountainous sort of path, eventually making your way, up over a hill, past, going across one of the bridges. There's this, beautiful sort of waterfall behind you. Ishka, out of sort of frustration, is sort of moved to the front as the rest of you kind of squabble and,
I
uh,
King,
talk about Rubel's paddle and what deserves a paddle and how it of course a paddle is the ultimate sign of Umberlee's displeasure on land, because why
Yes.
wouldn't you have a paddle?
Exactly.
keeps looking wistfully back at the mine.
I look wistfully at my paddle. So many fun times.
And Ishka, as you move across this bridge, the waterfall behind it, sort of water sort of spraying, you see as you sort of rise across the crest of it, at the far end, you see a very large, gangly white beast that is leaned over, and it is stripping some of the bark and branches off of some of the bushes at the far edge of this bridge that you are crossing. And give me 1 second.
A
Okay.
gangly
I was
white
going to say, were we on a
beast?
new map?
Some point.
You are now.
What is this?
Ooh, that's
Oh,
Those
I know
scary.
this thing.
It's
Yeah,
a
and
moose.
so you see, as you cross, you see this is a moose with a huge sort of rack, and it is, sort of stripping the bark and branches. And as you cross in front of it, Ishka, you see its eyes turn up and look at you, and in Druidic, it just looks up at you and just says, "Well, good morning. What brings you along the path?" And that's where we're going to end it for the night.
All right.
Yay!
I gotta say the isometric bridge map here is it just amuses me endlessly.
It's actually really pretty
It
looking.
makes me feel
Yeah.
good because it means we're not going to fight on it.
Yeah.
Don't
All
ever
right.
say that.
I'm going to say
It
goodnight.
has a grid.
Have a nice night,
It has
everyone.
a grid because Roll20 has a grid.